So as you know, if you follow this channel, I am something of a connoisseur of TikTok videos. We all have our hobbies. This is mine. I don't enjoy them. I study them, much like an anthropologist or some other kind of scientist. I put on my lab coat and I analyze these videos. It's all for the sake of science is what I'm trying to say. So last week we took a look at feminist TikTok videos, and this week we're going to study and analyze a different subgenre. Here we have parenting TikTok. These are TikTokers who've made videos giving their parenting wisdom. Maybe we can learn something. You know, I've got 4 kids, but there's always more to be learned. So I'm not going to be egotistical about this. I'll try to be humble, and I will humble myself before the TikTokers and see if they have anything of value to tell me. So we'll start with this video here.
My kids are allowed to tell me no. They have a voice and I want to hear it. I want them to make decisions. So they are allowed to say no, but there are rules. Guidelines? I don't know, there's more to it. Most importantly, you have to be polite. If they've politely declined, they better be ready to explain themselves, plead their case. I always encourage conversation. We're developing critical thinking skills and communication. Just say I asked my daughter to clean her room and she says, no thanks, I don't really want to right now. She's not getting in trouble for that. I mean, I get it. I look at messes I have to clean all the time and think, I don't feel like it. I have quick conversations. I remind her that she can't earn her privileges until her responsibilities are complete. She'll remind me that she already knows that, and then she'll tell me her plan and when she plans to get things done. Usually she follows through. Sometimes she needs reminding. I always want my kids to feel safe and comfortable saying no, and that starts with me. I respect my kids in the same way I want them to respect me. I don't think you can earn respect by demanding obedience. You earn respect by earning trust.
Okay, first of all, why every video on TikTok is a woman doing her makeup while she talks to you, or someone pointing to words on a screen rather than just saying it.
America, explain!
I don't understand that. Also, you told your daughter to clean her room and she said, no, I don't feel like it. She politely declined. Hey, go clean your room. Oh, no, mother, I will decline.
No, I don't really feel like it.
I will decline your invitation to clean my room. Well, okay then. How's that an option you accept? Me, when I tell my kids to do something and they say no, I say, oh, no, you see, you didn't understand. No is not an option. Oh, no, you didn't. You forgot you're talking to dad, right? No, this is dad you're talking to. There's no here. No isn't in your vocabulary right now. I wasn't asking for your, you thought I wanted your opinion. No. This is not a democratic deliberation. I'm telling you to do it, so do it.
This isn't a democracy anymore.
End of discussion. Now, we do have a follow-up from this same woman about that video we just watched, and she's doing her makeup again, of course. Let's watch that.
A while ago, I made a video about how I let my kids say no and manage their own time. That video got really mixed reviews. Some people loved the idea and some people thought it was horrible. But that's all right. I don't expect everyone to agree with me. I'm not trying to tell anyone how to parent. I'm just sharing what works for us. However, I got a comment yesterday I want to talk about. I'm not going to video reply to the comment because I noticed if I do that to a comment that disagrees with me, people go back and be mean to that commenter, and I don't like that. That's not what we're doing here. So the comment said, you're going to regret letting them say no. You think you're being fair, but all you're doing is teaching your kids that they're your equals, and they're not. Friend, I think that's where we disagree, because I do believe my kids are my equals. The way I see it is that my kids didn't decide to be here. I decided to have children. And with the decision I made, I have the responsibility to build up their self-worth and make sure they understand they are equal. And not just to me, but to every human. I gave my kids life, and they don't owe me anything for it. I owe them a good life.
This lady is either the nicest person on earth or a serial killer, and there is no in between. Now, I can imagine her. I could go either way. I could imagine her holding the door open and saying good morning. I could also imagine her, tying me down to a slab and dismembering me. Like, you could sort of imagine either one of those things. Maybe it shows how not nice I am. It shows what a miserable bastard that I am, that if you're nice, I accuse you of being a serial killer. So this might really be more about me than her, I'll admit. Niceness is so foreign to me that when somebody is nice, I'm like, hey, what's your angle here? What are you doing? What are you doing right now? What is this? Anyway, nice or not, this again is totally wrong. Yes, kids are equal in the sense of their human worth and dignity. So that's, when we talk about human equality in general, that's what we mean. Moral worth. All humans are equal in that way, but they're not equal in any other sense. They're not equal in authority. They're not equal in intelligence. They're not equal in maturity. Well, these days, unfortunately, I think kids a lot of times are equal in intelligence and maturity to their parents. That's part of the problem here, but they shouldn't be. You don't have to think of them as inferior, if you don't want to put it that way. They are underdeveloped in those areas. whereas you are or should be more developed. But what there is not is equality. So kids are equality in this spiritual, moral worth kind of sense. That's a very important sense. But they're not equal in any other way. What does not equal mean? It just means different. These are different. So you are different from your child. You're in a different place in life. And that's why the home cannot be a democracy. ThisReadingMama.com is a blog created by a former classroom teacher and reading tutor with a master's in reading and a grad certificate in dyslexia and language-based learning differences. She was one of those people, like many, who never thought they would homeschool, but God called her to it 11 years ago. Because of some unique learning challenges her oldest child had, she found herself entering the homeschool world. It's been one of the best and most challenging experiences of her life. There's nothing that compares to seeing the light bulb come on when your child gets a concept and you know you taught it to them. Because of her passion for teaching kids, especially struggling learners, she began creating and sharing resources for other homeschooling parents. The goal of everything she creates is twofold. One, to make learning fun and engaging, which is what it should be, and two, to break down difficult concepts so it's easier for learners to grasp them. Over the past 10 years, she's created thousands of free printables on her blog, from teaching rhyming words to working on complex comprehension skills. She has some free resources for other subjects too, like math and science. If you go to thisreadingmama.com, you can find all the free printables by clicking on free printables at the top of her blog. You can also find her shop. There you'll find a reading curriculum, even more resources for struggling learners, spelling games, and her homeschool plan. Check out her blog and all the resources she has to offer. Use coupon code Walsh for 30% off the products from her shop. Okay, I can't take many more of these. We'll do, all right, let's try this one. How inspiring. How inspiring. Another child prop here. Even if it could be appropriate to have your son leave the house and address, which it isn't. See, this is not a problem for me as a father. I don't have to think about this one. My sons have never asked to wear dresses. If they did, I would have no problem saying no. You know what I would say? God forbid. You know what I would say? This is how unenlightened I am. I would say, can you believe it? I'd say to my son, you're not wearing a dress. Boys don't wear dresses. But I really want to wear a dress. But you're not going to. That's what I would say. And that would be it. It would be over. My son's theoretical gender self-identity crisis would be over right then and there. I'd just put an end to it, and then we go out and we just live our lives and everything will be fine. It really is that simple most of the time. But even if it could be appropriate, let's just say, sake of argument, to have your son leave the house in a dress, the fact that you're filming it and putting it online proves that you aren't doing this for him. It proves that you're doing it for a reason that has nothing to do with his well-being, his welfare, his development. You're doing it so that you can brag about it. And that's why these parents that are raising gender diverse kids, or whatever the phrase is now, they always love talking about it. Because it's all about them every time. All right, you know what? Let's look at one more. Let's see if we can find somewhere on TikTok some good parenting. And maybe we'll find it here. Let's watch. I mean, it happens to the best of us. I cannot tell you how many times I've accidentally drop-kicked a baby while pole dancing. It can really happen to anyone.
Don't kick the baby. Kick the baby.
But really, why are you filming a pole dancing video at all? But when you have like a 6-month-old crawling around the house, who's watching that kid? Apparently nobody. And then why did you post it? I assume this wasn't live streaming, so she was trying to take a TikTok video of herself pole dancing for whatever reason, and she accidentally drop kicks her baby in the face in the process, and then watches the video back and says, oh, this is great stuff. Let's put it on so everyone can see me doing it. This is why when I see these videos, at least the ones giving advice, and I give this woman credit. She's not like, she isn't advising that we drop kick our babies. It's just that that's what she does. That's her own style. But when I see the advice ones, it only solidifies my belief that you should have to state your credentials before giving parenting advice. And I don't believe in this kind of credentialism thing in most situations, but for parenting, there should be a law in place. And if I was in charge, there would be a law that you have to say, at a minimum, how many kids you have and how long you've been a parent and whether any of your kids are currently in prison before you give any advice at all. I'm 8 years in, 4 kids, and I'm barely qualified to give advice. I'm only qualified at most to point out the bad advice when I see it. And this is all bad advice. So don't listen to it. Also, don't listen to me. Don't listen to anyone. You're on your own and alone. Have a great day.